the Queen will be making sure that he's protected and that's stopped. And I think personally that whatever way you look at it, Harry flying over, I can understand he's a caring son. He's somebody that might be feeling, oh, maybe I've got this all wrong. But he probably just wanted to say, wish his dad the best. But it's a clear message there. You're not really, you're certainly not forgiven, and you've certainly done a lot of damage.
You've got to do a lot more than fly 5,000 miles.
Well, the fact that his brother didn't even bother to acknowledge him. I mean, they were very close. I mean, they were close as close can be, and he didn't even bat an eyelid. There was no way that was going to happen. This is probably why it'd be quite good, as I wrote the other day. I think that it would be good if William and Harry, that were not making the latter stages of his life a misery, which is what he said they were doing. And really, between them, they're not boys anymore. They're both men, and it's time to grow up.
So William and Harry don't talk at all. How much do you think the King or William would they want Harry to step into some of the roles, or to
no, and I don't think that'll ever happen. I heard that speculated the other day. Harry's gone. He's made his bed. He's going to lie in it, and that's it. But what I think could happen is what William did before, when they had that walkabout around the time after the Queen's death. There was a truce, wasn't there? They had the four walking along. Don't have to do that. They don't have to be so graphic, because I think Kate said at the time it was the hardest thing she ever had to do. But I think what they've got to do is two brothers have to bury the hatchet and say, okay, we'll agree to disagree. Let's agree not to talking about each other anymore, and let's just try to build a relationship for the sake of the King. Because ultimately they are men, they're not boys.
Well, how do they bury the hatchet? I mean, Sun readers would love Harry, not love, but they would be happy if Harry, kind of was reunited with his father and his family. But they believe that Harry needs to apologise. I think Harry has said that he wants an apology, or people close to him said they want an apology.
Well, I think it's time for both everyone, whoever wants an apology, just apologise to whoever. You've got to do it privately, say, I'm sorry about what I said, and you're sorry about what you said, and then draw a line under it, because, what they must realise, and I've lost my dad, anybody who's lost a parent, is that you suddenly grow up quite quickly after that, because whilst they're alive, you've still got that paternal bond where, oh, really, can they sort it all out for me? But, if once your parent passes, you've got to get on with it. And I think that really this is proof that the King's not indestructible. He's a human being. He's been there for them all of this time, all their lives, ever since they lost their mum. And they blame, there's a lot of blame went on there. But he's been there for Harry in particular all that time. It's time to pay back now. It's time for them to grow up, be men, not Diana's boys. As everyone keeps, I had that referred to, oh, poor Diana's boys. One is 41 and one is 39. And they're not boys. They're not babies. They're men. They're fathers. And they've got to grow up and say, actually, it's now time we did more for the King. And I think William is certainly doing that. You saw William, as we see him in the paper here, top son. He's been out there doing what is required of him as a son. He was there for him at the coronation. He's been there for him ever since he's been king, as a liege man. Well, come on, Harry, you're not a baby. It's time for you to be a liege man. You don't have to do the royal engagements. You don't have to do any of that. What you need to do is stop the nonsense of playing up for getting cheap publicity, and act responsibly. And he hasn't really been doing that. And I think that now he must realise that he owes his father an apology and he owes his brother an apology. If he wants William to do the same, then fine. If William probably would do that, I think, in private, but then it might then get released, mightn't it? By, William has apologised to me. It'd be the next thing that comes out in the paper.
So we talk about the difference between Harry and William. Obviously, Harry, in one way, he's been on a few red carpets lately, and then he jetted back for this short meeting with the dad. But William, front page of The Sun, with Tom Cruise, top son. But he said some nice words. He said, basically, he said, thank you for the good wishes for Pa, or for his father, and for Kate. I mean, what do you think about William?
Well, I thought it was quite personal, and I noticed he didn't say the King. He said to his Pa, his father, And I thought that was quite a nice touch, actually, because there was always that, always found it jarred. I remember when, you get Prince Andrew during the fire of Windsor, he said, Her Majesty the Queen is, and it was all this sort of bit too, not personal, but William is a personal guy, and I think that I thought he actually, he must be, whatever's going on in his mind, he didn't show it yesterday. He was on top form, he performed exactly how he should. He reminded me in many ways of how the Queen would be. He was pretty stoic, just carried on, and thanks very much, just get on with the job. And I think he was, look, there he is, posing on the front, for the front page picture. He knows he's got a job to do, and he just got on and did it. I mean, I'm not really having a go at Harry. I think that Harry is a very emotional guy. He's got his own life to lead, and people were saying, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be overly critical. He's come all this way to see his dad." Yeah, he flew first class. He can afford to do it. The point of it is, though, there's things he should start doing now. And as you said rightly, number one is, I'm sorry, Dad, I got this wrong. But is he going to do that? I mean, is he going to give all the money back? I doubt it.
So William's also been looking after his wife, Princess of Wales, which has taken up his time, but which we share the best wishes. But you mentioned about the King, or we talk about the King not being indestructible. What do we know about his health? Because he's in his mid-70s. He has been through a lot of stress the last couple of years, but he loves the countryside. He loves being outside. He does care for his health. He's a healthy man, isn't he?
Well, we saw pictures of him when he was on that tour of Jamaica, not that long, tour of the Caribbean, not that long ago. He's a fit guy. He's got the same. He's not. I wish I had the same sort of frame I had when I was 25. He literally does. He's a fit guy, but his diet. Somebody doesn't eat lunch. He has he likes certain foods. He has all prepared freshly. He's somebody I think that has taken care of himself, and then this has happened, and it's going to be a shock to him. But I think because he is a fit man, hopefully it'll just be a wake-up call to everyone around him to sort of make them realise that they've got to, as they did with the Queen, to pace things rather than just throw everything at him.
As a wake-up call. We've only got one king. We want to keep hold of him.
We do, and he's been a good... I mean, a lot of people talk, didn't they? Oh, he's going to be a meddling king, he's going to be this, he's that. He's been brilliant, I think. He's a convening king. He's been somebody that's brought people together. In a world when we don't have many statesmen, we have a lot of despots and a lot of slightly strange people leading countries. This is a man with all these years of experience, with contacts from different political scenes around the world, from the Middle East to Western democracies, who's got a wide understanding of how the world works and the problems facing the world. We need him, and I think that he's just going to have to just take it a bit easy for a little while, then come back fully rested and fully fit.
Great. Well, hopefully later this year we can talk about him, making a comeback and seeing him happy and ready again.
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff.
Thanks, Rob.